What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the kind of brand new MDLX Bumblebee from THREEZERO. And I know this figure's been out for a couple of months, but I've been really enjoying it, so I wanted to make a video talking about it. And I just have a big pile of figures that aren't really new, but they're not old. And I'm just going to kind of be making videos of them randomly, you know, like pulling one from the pile, making a video. And that's kind of where I'm at with this Bumblebee figure. But let's go ahead and get into it because this thing is awesome. Starting off with the box, it is very small. It looks very nice. You can see Bumblebee through the window. Up front, it does say MDLX Bumblebee. Then we get some logos down here. We get a shot of Bumblebee himself looking awesome. On the side of the box, it says Transformers Bumblebee. On the back, we get a look at the figure in some awesome poses and just looking all crazy right there. And then right here we get a look at the figure again. And that's about it for the packaging. It's collector friendly and all that good stuff. But enough about this box. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at Bumblebee. Alrighty, so here we have Bumblebee right out of the box. And man, this is a really impressive figure. This thing is incredible. Such like high level of detail on the sculpt, really nice articulation. He feels very solid and high quality. He's made up of plastic, but there's also a little bit of metal bits in there, like in the joints, and when you move him around, it just feels smooth and really nice. And this is actually the first time I've ever purchased a THREEZERO figure. I did play with the bigger Bumblebee that they put out like 2 years ago. Someone let me borrow it. I messed around with it. I thought it was awesome. But you know, it's like a much bigger figure. It's not really something you could pick up and play with all the time. This guy right here is very small, compact, feels high quality, has great articulation, and it's just a joy to handle. And you know, when I first took him out of the box, I was kind of surprised at how small he was. It's not really like a problem or anything, but at first it's like, whoa, he's tiny. But man, I think it's the figure is better for it because it just kind of makes it more enjoyable. But this thing is incredible. I'm gonna have to look into THREEZERO a little bit more. A lot of the stuff they make is just not a scale that I'm interested in. But if they do stuff like this, I'm all for it. In fact, I would love to see them do more Transformers just outside of stuff based on the Bumblebee movie. Like, how awesome would a classic like Optimus Prime in this style be? Or Springer. That's always a character I'm asking for. I've only been into Transformers for maybe like 3 or 4 years. And ever since I became interested in it, the one thing I keep wanting is a non-transforming, super articulated, high quality line of Transformers figures. And over the last couple years, there's been a couple of companies that have kind of tried to do things kind of like that, but it just hasn't really worked out. But you know, if THREEZERO did it, I think it would be a hit, like especially if they were this quality, because this thing is incredible. And then taking a closer look at this guy, when it comes to the sculpt, the paint, and the details, THREEZERO really went above and beyond, man. They really did an incredible job, and it's very impressive. But let's go ahead and get into it, starting off with the head. I really like how they did the face. You can see all the little facial features and everything. You can see the blue eyes, the mouth, the nose, the horns on the ears. Just everything about the head is extremely well done. Very nice, man. Then moving down into the body, you got the Autobots logo right there on the chest. The logo. Let's go with emblem. That sounds a little bit more heroic. The Autobots emblem. I love the like black outlines that they put on here too, man. That is awesome. That makes it feel more classic, just putting those black lines in there. Then like down in here, look at that. That is ridiculous. And this is a tiny figure. It's crazy that they were able to put this level of detail in here. And back here, look at that. I love those black lines, man. So cool. Look at all that. Crazy. Very cool. Let's take a look at the arms here. And I love the paintwork on it, like that metallic look. I just really love this design for Bumblebee, to be honest with you. The design itself is so awesome, and they did a great job bringing it to life. And these things do move. They're like plastic, so you know, you could kind of move those out of the way. But look at all that, man. So good. His feet always crack me up. Ooh, look at all this. Damn. Yeah, just the sculpting work and the paint and just all that stuff is just so mind-blowing, you know? It's very, very, like, next level for a figure in this scale. But man, I really love the way this guy looks. They did an incredible job. Like, I know I keep saying it over and over, but yeah, man, I'm just very impressed with the way this guy looks and just the level of detail they were able to fit into such a small figure. It's very impressive. And then for accessories, Bumblebee doesn't really come with all that much, but we do get some pretty cool things, including 3 different sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists, then we have a set of open hands, and then we have a set of gun gripping hands, and these can be used to hold on to this nice little blaster that he has. And this thing is super dope. I love the sculpting work on it. I love the paint, the details. This gun is just very, very nice. And I think he looks awesome holding it. Bumblebee with the gun is pretty damn badass. And then he does come with 2 different heads. This is the first one. We've seen it already. It's very awesome. And then he comes with another one that kind of has like a faceplate over the mouth area. And this is awesome too. I kind of imagine that this is like his battle form, you know? Like when he gets ready for war, he puts on the head, or he puts on the face mask, and then he gets to work, you know? So this is awesome. I like this a lot. And then now for some size comparisons, let's get him in here with some other non-transforming Transformers figures. On the left, we have the Revoltech Optimus Prime, and on the right, we have the Flame Toys IDW Optimus Prime. And this Optimus is one of my favorite Optimus Prime figures. I love the articulation on it. Only problem with it is that it feels a little fragile, because this company typically makes model kits, but for this one, it's kind of like a pre-assembled model kit with a little bit of paint on it. So it kind of has that feeling, but it's a great figure. I really love it. It's awesome that they went with the IDW version of Optimus Prime. And the Revoltech figure is pretty cool too. I feel like people kind of slept on this one. I think it's a pretty nice figure. Revoltech probably could have done a little better, but I think it's cool. And even though Bumblebee is a completely different design from either one of these, I think he looks cool next to them, especially with the IDW version. You know, it's definitely not accurate, but I think it looks okay. As far as scale goes, I think it works. Maybe Optimus Prime could be a little bigger, but I don't know. I like the way they look. And then next up, we have him alongside Hasbro's Transformers RED Optimus Prime and Soundwave. And man, this line, it kind of broke my heart. Once I heard that Hasbro was going to be doing articulated, non-transforming Transformers figures, I got all excited. I figured we were going to get something as good as like Legends or G.I. Joe Classified or something in that level. But, you know, this is what they gave us, and I do like some of the figures, especially Soundwave. I think Soundwave and Optimus Primal were really nice. But yeah, they could have done so much better with this line. They just kind of, they half-assed it, to be honest with you. And then next up, we have them alongside the Hasbro RED Deluxe Maxi Size Build-A-Figure Bumblebee and the Hasbro, I want to say this was the Siege Bumblebee. I'm not 100% sure, but I love this little figure. But yeah, man, this RED Bumblebee is huge. He's a monster. Look how big he is. And just because this Bumblebee is going to join the ranks of my favorite Transformers figures, here we have him alongside a few of my other favorites. On the left, we have the War for Cybertron Rodimus Prime, and then on the right we have the Studio Series Hot Rod. And now here we have him alongside the Hasbro Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Optimus Prime and Soundwave. And obviously Bumblebee looks like he's in a whole nother league compared to these figures, but I still think they look pretty cool all together. I think that you could kind of make this work. And I don't have the Studio Series Bumblebee, so for me this works out fine. I might just have to display them like this with Bumblebee in the center. But man, these two figures are nice too, especially Soundwave. And I would love to get a 3-0 version of Soundwave just like this Bumblebee. That would be incredible. But yeah, I like this design a lot, and I think that Hasbro did a pretty decent job on it. And then just to show Bumblebee with figures in a much smaller scale, here we have him alongside the Hasbro Marvel Universe Cable and then the Acid Rain Voldo. I think that's what this guy's called. I'm not entirely sure exactly what this thing is. All I know, it's made by Acid Rain, and it's amazing. I got this as a gift from Adam, and yeah, I was really impressed with this, and it made me want to get more Acid Rain figures and maybe start reviewing them, because I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about these things, or maybe I'm just not in the right circles. But man, this is awesome. Let me know if you guys would like to see a review of this little guy, because he's really, really impressive. And then of course, here he is alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And the articulation on this guy is very impressive as well, especially considering like the bulkiness of the design. You know, there's a lot of squares and just a lot of things that have the potential to collide with each other, but I think that THREEZERO did a great job incorporating a good amount of articulation, especially into a design like this. But let's go ahead and take a look, starting off with the head. So the head does move side to side, and we get a little bit of like just kind of moving around like that, which is awesome. You can only look up to about right there, which, you know, it's pretty decent considering the design. Then it goes down to right there, which is awesome. So that's pretty good. And then for the torso, we do have like a ball joint at the waist, and it kind of feels like there's a torso. Oh yeah, there is like a mid-torso joint. So that moves a little bit, and then we have a ball joint at the waist. And then you could also spin at the ball joint. Yeah, you get a little bit of side to side using the ball joint and the torso. You can't really expect all that much out of the torsos on Transformers, but I do feel like THREEZERO did pretty good with what they were working with. And you could definitely get them into like dynamic poses and natural looking action and moving poses with this torso. So yeah, I like it. It's good. And then for the arms, we have these nice little ball joints in there that are actually made of metal, and you get a bit of a butterfly joint at the shoulder. Then the arms do go all the way around. And then they do come up to the side, which was pretty surprising considering he's got this big old shoulder joint, but they made it to where the shoulder pad thing just kind of gets out of the way. And then you could bring his arm way up. Look at that. That is awesome. Man, that's dope. That's some dope like engineering, you know. And it looks clean and good, you know. Very consistent. Very natural. So I like it. And then he does have like a upper bicep swivel in there. I don't know how to describe the elbow. It doesn't really look like a double jointed elbow, really. Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. I'm sorry. So, yeah, there's a joint on the inside of the yellow piece, and then you can see the joint above the elbow there. So, using both of those, it bends to right there, which is pretty good. And then at the wrist, we have a little ball joint that is able to move around. You know, you can move in all kinds of different directions. He has a swivel on the hand itself, so good movement at the hands. Yeah, I was really impressed. Look at these shoulder joints, man. That is super impressive. You could get his arms in front of him for some boxing poses. Bam! Yeah, that is dope. You wouldn't think that'd be possible with all this stuff going on the upper body. That is crazy. Very cool articulation on the shoulders and the arms and stuff. And then for the legs, there's a couple of surprises down here too. So he does have these pieces on the hips that do kind of move around, which is nice. They're on little ball joints, so you just want to be careful when you're handling the figure. You don't want these to get caught in something and break, but they do move around, so you could kind of shift it up. And then for the hips, he's got a ball joint, and he does have a drop down hip as well. Look at this. Boom. You can bring it way down, bring his leg way up. Look at that. For a Transformer, that is insane. That is so dope. Bring it down, go back to right there. Bring it out to the side. Kick Soundwave right in his mouth. Bam! Look at that. It's beautiful. Then he does have like a swivel on the upper thigh, and then he's got double jointed knees, which are really nice. And at the foot we have some rocking action, and you could kind of swivel it, but you know, there's a lot going on here, so it's kind of tough. You could bring it forward to right there and up to right there, so a little restricted right there, but it makes sense. You know, he's got a whole damn car on his foot, so but man, the articulation on this thing is pretty ridiculous, especially considering the design. So yeah, he's just so much fun to play with. The joints are really smooth. They feel like perfect. You know, the way they move around is tight, but not so tight that you feel like you're going to break the figure or something. They're just very smooth and sturdy, and they just work really well. Look at that. Dude, this is so dope. This is such a nice figure. Look at that, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, really, really nice stuff in the articulation department. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, this is an incredible figure. And to be honest with you, I really can't find anything to complain about. Everything is extremely well done on this guy. He's got some great articulation, some really nice sculpting work, some insane details, some nice paint. He does have some pretty good accessories too. Nothing over the top, but definitely enough for the character. And yeah, man, I would say that this guy is pretty much flawless. I can't think of anything I dislike about him. I think they did an incredible job all the way around. And you know, the main thing that I love about this figure is that he has such a high quality feel to him. And he wasn't crazy expensive. He was about 60 bucks. And man, he feels like something that would cost more than that. Just everything about it feels very good. He's got a very high-end kind of vibe to him. And yeah, man, I just love it. I cannot find anything to complain about. This thing is pretty much perfection. So I'm extremely happy with it. I gotta look into some more THREEZERO figures, man, because this guy just kind of blew me away. Hopefully they do some more stuff that I'm interested in. And hopefully they do more Transformers. I would love to see them tackle all versions of Transformers, not just the movie stuff, you know. But man, they killed it. This is such an amazing figure. So I definitely suggest picking this guy up before he becomes too expensive. As of right now, I think you could find him on Amazon pretty close to retail, or maybe like Entertainment Earth. That's where I got mine. He was actually on sale when I bought it, so it was like 55 bucks or something. Man, so worth it. I'm so happy with it. But with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I do go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and every Friday at 7 p.m. So come through, let's talk about toys and get weird. Thank you very much. Peace.